Hey, Bruce Sheffer up here in Penguin Air Employment News Chopper, and we were following a car that the police department, the Phoenix Police Department, has been following for the past, I'm not sure, half hour at least. We've been up here for about 15, 20 minutes. He's going through Phoenix in the area of, well, let's see here. It's probably 43rd here. He just turned south, and I'm going to have to get a street sign, but not sure what he's wanted for. But obviously he's going to be charged with fleeing officers. So he hasn't been driving crazy and totally erratic and totally dangerous, but nonetheless, he's been, making a lot of turns, kind of dodging through traffic. And thankfully, we haven't seen him run any red lights yet. Aaron, where are we, buddy? And we're 43rd Avenue approaching Thomas, folks. That's where this blue Audi. The blue Audi's just kind of running from officers. And once again, not sure what this Audi is, what the driver of this Audi is wanted for. And he hasn't been driving totally crazy, thankfully. But we've seen him go through neighborhoods, turn right, turn left, whatever sort of looks good to him at that moment.
And Firebird TV3, I have you inside. We're up high.
And we're up here with the Phoenix Police Firebird helicopter. They're keeping an eye on this car and letting the ground units back off, because when these idiots see these ground units, they definitely start driving more radical, and we don't want anyone to get injured down there. So the helicopter's up high. He can't see us up here, but we've got Elvis Cam here with a pretty good shot of him as he cruises through the streets of Phoenix. He's now westbound on Thomas and approaching, we just left 43rd Avenue, so westbound from 43rd. And he's just cruising around. Thankfully, he's been obeying mostly, for the most part, the speed limit as he's driving down these streets. So once again, not sure what this guy in this blue Audi is wanted for. There you see he's just trying to make a decision what to do to keep moving. Doesn't want to get stuck in a at a light, because then the officers could pin him in and take him into custody. He just turned right on Aaron. What street is that? 51st Avenue. 51st Avenue northbound from Thomas. In traffic not too heavy, thankfully, except when he does this kind of stuff, looking to get around cars that are going too slow for him. That blue Audi, once again, not sure what that driver's wanted for, but definitely will be arrested for eluding police, not stopping, fleeing. And this is about the most dangerous thing we've seen him do so far, cutting across traffic to make a turn. And going through a neighborhood here. Aaron, what street is that neighborhood? That's a half-miler north of Thomas. Approaching Indian School, but now he's turned south, going through a neighborhood here. And once again, thankfully, he's not fleeing. He's basically just driving through neighborhoods and on the service streets, everywhere from Thomas and 43rd Avenue over to up towards Indian School. He's in the middle of a neighborhood right now, and you can see and not stopping at that stop sign there. This guy in back of him probably thinks he's just a jerk of a driver, doesn't know that this guy's dangerous, fleeing from police, going down the center lane there. And we have not seen a police officer yet. This intersection here is, what is this, Aaron? So he's just running a light there, and he's back on to Thomas from 51st Avenue. And again, have not seen any police officers in the area, which is good news because it's not making him drive totally erratic. Where'd I lose him? There he is.
Air 916, Air 23 on 25.
Go ahead.
How much fuel do you have remaining, sir?
We got 87 gallons.
Okay, we are going to depart in about 7 minutes. We'll refuel, we'll monitor. If you need us to come up, give us about 20 minutes or so.
Okay, copy, thanks.
So this guy in his blue Audi, sort of in and out of traffic all over Phoenix. Basically around Thomas and 43rd Avenue, 51st Avenue, now westbound on Thomas at so 59th Avenue, westbound on Thomas, folks. A blue Audi, not sure what he's wanted for. Here he goes into a neighborhood once again. We've seen him go through a bunch of neighborhoods. He just turns off the road when traffic starts getting a little too heavy and then starts driving through neighborhoods. But thankfully, he's not driving at a high rate of speed through these neighborhoods. We don't know what this suspect is wanted for. Don't know if he even has a driver's license, if he didn't want to pull over for police officers because he doesn't have a driver's license. We have no clue. And we'll get that information a little bit later from the Phoenix Police Department. They've been in the air in the Firebird helicopter following this guy and letting the ground units have let Firebird just follow his path and let them know where he is.
Thomas over 59th Avenue, 2700 Firebird off your 12 high. Gotcha.
Okay,
So in a neighborhood here approaching 59th Avenue, just past 59th Avenue, going through by a park here. And if we could get closer, we can get his license number, but we're up high because we don't want him to see us and encourage him to do anything like try to drive quickly and lose us, which he would never do. He's not going to lose the Firebird police helicopter or us up here in the Penguin Air News Chopper. The one thing you hope for in these situations is the driver just ends up going into a neighborhood and bails out of the car, and then he's on foot and he's less of a danger, hopefully. And right now he's sitting at a stop sign. Yeah, 10-4. But that kind of a move is dangerous for people. And he's been doing a couple of those cutting the corners like that. We've been over a bunch of these chases in our time, and thankfully this guy's not driving as crazy, as fast as we've seen in the past, threatening everybody's lives on the roadways. So we have this Audi, a blue Audi. Don't know what the suspect is wanted for. He refused to stop for police officers, and he's been leading them on a, they're not really pursuing him from the ground, they're pursuing him in the air. Basically the Phoenix Police Firebird helicopter up here, keeping an eye on him. We're keeping an eye on him. We know where he is. We know where he's going at all times. He's not going to get away, and we're just hoping he doesn't. Look at this. So people on the ground thinking, what is this guy doing? They don't know that he's at this point is a criminal. And the Phoenix Police Department is following him in the air.
Hey, Firebird TV 15. How you doing? I got TV3 above us as well. Okay, sir, we're just coming off Scottsdale. We're going to come out and meet you guys. We're here about Tank Farms at McDowell.
So this blue Audi,
Hey Steve, yeah, he's
Right
westbound
along
on McDowell, just past about 61st Avenue.
McDowell.
We're at 2500 Firebirds down about 1718.
All right, brother, appreciate it. We'll see you in a few minutes.
and he's approaching 75th Avenue. And he's McDowell Road. To the left is the Interstate 10. And he's coming up on 75th Avenue. We'll see what he's going to do there. And right through traffic. And we've seen him do that a lot. We've been following him for about 25 minutes now. And he's just weaving in and out of traffic. Not sure what this guy's done, why he's wanted by authorities, but he's refusing to stop, or refused at some point to stop, and took off. And
Here 916, 02325.
Go ahead, sir.
If you go ahead and move forward, what bingo?
Okay, we'll take over. Thanks, guys.
TV3 5 Southeast with us.
Pursuit here, like to operate south part here. Good, you're 2,300. Flight of 3.
Look.
If you want to, flight of 3 V-22 for north of Goodyear, approaching the stadium.
And I think this must be
We are about 3 miles
83rd
here,
Ave.
off your nose, low level, 1,600. Got a helicopter above us, about 2.2, 2.3.
up, and he went through that light on 83rd Avenue, McDowell, westbound. And can you imagine if this guy cuts somebody off and causes a road rage incident, somebody doesn't know what's going on and starts chasing him and trying to get him? That's the kind of stuff,
If
that
Firebird
crazy
lets
stuff that
Glendale
can
Tower
happen
know what we're
out
doing,
here.
they know we're going through their airspace.
So this blue Audi
Copy,
did not stop for police
The
officers,
Osprey there, about a mile to our south.
and we're not
Got
sure
them
what he
inside,
was
thank
wanted
you.
for. What? Oh my God! Look at that. Got a bunch of Ospreys here coming our way.
Hey Firebird, I
folks.
got you. I'm just going to drop a little altitude to clear these guys.
Big
They'll stay down on
Twin
Absolutely, I got you there.
Navy, Marine
Are you
helicopters.
guys still moving westbound?
Yeah, we're approaching McDowell and the 101.
Copy.
Man, where'd those guys come from? Pretty
Thanks
cool.
for the heads up on those Osprey. I didn't see them until you pointed them out, Firebird.
Yeah, they were a ways away, and then they got pretty close quick.
So McDowell. Approaching the 101. He wants to run this light, but he's got cars in front of him. He'll probably run it. Yeah, he's at the stop sign right before the going underneath the bridge.
T-15, Dreamy Draw, south, westbound out towards Glendale 2000. Lucky 1-2, flight of 3.
And you never know, folks.
500 north of the fairgrounds.
Any of these cars could be unmarked police officers following him, just waiting for the perfect moment to take him into custody, either block him in somewhere. He's going beneath the Loop 101 on McDowell right now, and he's continuing westbound. There's a shopping center, all these shopping centers near the Loop 101 and I-10 to the left. McDowell just north of it. and he's going to come into some vehicles here, and he's probably going to try to swing through there, do something stupid. Now he's kind of stuck. And there you go, the kind of behavior he's been exhibiting, backing up on a roadway. He's going to leave himself an out in case officers come up and try to block him probably. He's sitting at this light at 99th Avenue. So we're not sure what he's wanted for, folks. We've just been following this guy for about a half hour in the blue Audi, all over Phoenix, from 51st Avenue, 43rd Avenue, and Thomas, the Indian School, down to McDowell, and now he's been on McDowell for a while, westbound, and we just went under the Loop 101. We've got Interstate
over the
10
I-10,
here
101 right at
to the left, and
2,400
now
bucks.
he's going through this intersection.
T15 cross 917 about Glendale, 1,900 southwest bound. We got the 3 Ospreys in sight. We'll be passing off to your south about 1,900. What do you want, 25 copies?
Wow, Osprey's on 2302. How cool is that? Gotta say, from the TV3 helicopter, it's pretty cool to have 3 Ospreys on 2302.
Osprey traffic, TV15, still got you. We're going to stay over Glendale Ave here, stay north of you, 1,800, directly westbound. Okay, copy all. We'll be at,
And here he goes running a light.
Drive in here shortly.
103rd
Yeah,
Avenue,
super cool, man.
McDowell. Up. Right by a bus. And once again, this Audi, we're not sure what the situation is, but we've been following it, and the Phoenix Police Firebird helicopter has been following it longer than us. We've been following it for about a half hour, if not more. And he's been driving down surface streets, you know, for the most part, and into neighborhoods. He doesn't like stopping at lights. It's probably a concern with the Phoenix Police Department, who are the ones following this guy. And there's Interstate 10 to your left. We're out here, we just passed 103rd Avenue, so we're out on the west side of town. And if he jumps on the freeway, then it becomes a Department of Public Safety DPS situation.
TV15.
So Phoenix Police will probably hand it over
to your south here.
to the DPS at that point. But this blue Audi with a sunroof,
Copy.
not sure the situation, why this man is, or woman, we're not even sure who the driver is, why they're running from police. But out here on the west side of town, a little bit less traffic. The White Tank Mountains on your top of your screen, and there's I-10 to the left of your screen. And this road right here will be Avondale Boulevard, 115th Avenue. And he's probably going to get impatient. He's maybe going to turn see what he's going to do here. And I'm telling you, the Phoenix Police Department, they're doing a great job of staying out of sight. They've got the Firebird helicopter up above,
Hey,
calling out
315, I'm looking
this
for, I'm just coming across that Indian School and 60.
driver's location.
Hey, Steve, yeah, we're about 2 miles west of the stack, right over the I-10, just south of McDowell.
Copy.
Still westbound along McDowell now, approaching Goodyear.
Copy, thank you.
And Aaron, where's Firebird at?
Hey, TV3 Firebird
T-
2, you mind checking in with Goodyear for us? I'm not sure what you're at currently.
Yeah, I just gave them a call. We're cleared through their airspace. They know about us. 3003 on the altimeter.
Awesome, thanks, sir.
Can you put him in between this car and him? Just slowly, just maneuver. Keep your airspeed up though. They're trying to catch up with us. Okay, that's what the shot we should have had a long time ago. Let's think about that. Once he started going straight, that gave you that opportunity. All right, line them up. And there's a Firebird helicopter, folks.
Hey, Firebird TV3, we moved off about to your 4 o'clock high, 2,200.
All right, go ahead. Descend a little bit, buddy. And forward. There you go. And keep them lined up with it. And folks, a Firebird helicopter following this Audi that has been eluding police on the ground, but he's not going to get away from the Firebird helicopter. You can see up there they've got a camera on their aircraft just like we have on ours, and they're keeping an eye on him. Aaron, I want you to keep this shot going, okay? Okay, do what it takes. And we'll get this, he's starting to get into traffic out here on the west side of town, folks. In the Avondale area, Litchfield Park area. She just went through an intersection. I'm not sure where that is right now. But he's still on McDowell out here in the Avondale area. And he's in the group of cars right here. Once again, not sure what this guy did, but they've been following him for quite a while now.
P3, I got you just crossing about 103rd Ave here in I-10.
Copy, Stevie. I'm just holding north of McDowell here at 2,100.
I got you, man. You on with Luke?
I talked to Goodyear. They kind of cleared us. We're cleared a mile north into Luke's airspace from Goodyear here.
Okay.
And the blue Audi still continuing with traffic. The Phoenix Police helicopter staying on this side of the vehicle so the guy can't really see any of us. He wouldn't be able to see us up here high in the sky looking out his right side because he can only see straight out the door. So the police helicopter and that blue Audi probably just ran a light there. And there's a Phoenix Police Firebird helicopter. And actually our pilot today that I'm flying with, Aaron Whitesell, was the instructor on the last Phoenix Police Firebird pilot that was up here before they had to run back and get some more fuel. They were replaced by this other Firebird unit.
Lucky 1-2 flights approaching Squaw Peak. 2,500.
And you can see how the helicopters, we can just stay up above this scene surreptitiously. We stay behind them. They can't really see us up here. And I think this is into a neighborhood, or it's actually into a shopping center here. He doesn't want to go in there. He wants to continue on the roadways. And now he's southbound on, what avenue is that, buddy? What avenue is that, Aaron? And it looks like he's thinking about getting on the freeway. He's on Litchfield Road. Looks like he's going to go underneath the freeway. So he doesn't want to hop on the freeway.
Firebird TV3, what's your altitude currently?
T3 at 2,000, just north of the I-10.
Okay, thanks.
This Firebird, what color is the car?
It is blue,
Copy.
right behind a, I don't know, a semi with like a gravel hauler.
Okay, copy, got him.
All right, where's Firebird at? All right.
Steve, I'll stay west of Litchfield for the moment.
And this may be Celebrate Way Life. What is that? Celebrate Life Way. Okay, that's a nice street. Out here in the Avondale area. We're just north of Goodyear Airport. right here, so that's putting a little kink in our maneuvering abilities up here. He just turned around and just went eastbound. So he just turned around here. He's going back eastbound. So folks, this Audi car, we're not sure what the deal is with the driver. If he had refused to stop earlier for police officers, he's at Litchfield Road, right at Interstate 10. 10's up there to our left, take my word for it. And the Phoenix Police Firebird helicopter has been following him for almost, at least 45 minutes to an hour now. We've been up here for about 35, 40 minutes. And once again, not sure what he's wanted for, but they're not really showing any units on the ground to this guy, so he doesn't drive crazy. Thankfully, he has not been driving at a high rate of speed. We don't know why he wouldn't stop or why he's not stopping, but they've sort of let him go for the past, well, ever since we've been up in the air. We haven't seen any units, and a lot of times when these guys see units, these suspects see police units, and they start speeding up and driving through red lights, and that's causing a danger for everybody on the ground. So they really try not to do that these days, and they'll let the helicopter take over, follow the guy, and then ultimately see where he either bails out of the car, runs out of gas, whatever, carjacks somebody else. You never know what's going to happen. And it's hard to see inside the car. Looks like those windows are tinted pretty good. But it's an Audi, a blue Audi with a sunroof that we've been following from 35th Avenue and Thomas all the way out to
Road over the I-10 Firebird
Litchfield Road now near Interstate 10.
Firebird, copy.
No rhyme or reason which direction this guy takes. He will do U-turns. He'll go through neighborhoods, and he doesn't like sitting at stoplights for fear that the units that are following him, maybe some unmarked units, will pin him in and take him into custody. So he's back up to Litchfield Road now. And there's a Phoenix Police Firebird helicopter, keeping an eye on him. And he's going back underneath the Interstate 10. We're out here on the west side, folks. So there's Phoenix at the top part of your screen. We're out here over Litchfield Road and I-10 for
Phoenix traffic, evac 33 is over Fountain Hills, 3,400 inbound
this guy
for
and this
Banner University in Phoenix.
Audi refusing to stop for officers. And he's a hard one to follow if you were on the ground, because he keeps making U-turns, and if he sees somebody else making a U-turn, he might think those are police officers following him, and then here he goes again, making another U-turn, going underneath the Interstate 10 again. And just thankfully, this guy isn't driving at a high rate of speed like an idiot like some of these chases we've seen. And you can't call them chases, you call them pursuits, because they're just, the officers are trying to get that suspect off the roadway before they injure somebody else, possibly kill somebody going through a red light or crashing into somebody. But this guy thankfully hasn't been driving.
Hey, Firebird, was this a failure to yield?
Out of control, other than what he's doing in and out of traffic like that.
TV-15, I'm not sure, just says that, yeah, we were asked to launch.
Copy, thanks, man.
Yeah, Steve, we didn't know either, so we're not sure what happened.
Okay, thanks, Bruce.
So anyway, 3 helicopters keeping an eye on this guy now. He's definitely not going anywhere. Here he's coming up to a red light. What's he going to do here? Just kind of weaving through. And that's Litchfield Road again. So we turned off of Litchfield Road, and what avenue is that there, Aaron?
A15 and Fiber, I'll stay north here. I've got both of you guys in sight.
I'll hold it right here. Got you, man.
We got you as well.
And this is what he doesn't like. He doesn't like stopping at lights like that, and this is where it gets dangerous. Luckily, people weren't in the intersection and to the point where they couldn't stop when he pulled in the intersection. But he's getting a little bit more unsafe when he goes through lights like that, red lights. And just remember, you know, nobody has any idea that this guy is, you know, disobeying all the traffic laws right now, and he comes up on them and they're thinking, hey, you jerk, and sure enough, he's basically running from the police. And we don't know anything about him. We don't know if he's armed. We don't know what the deal is, why he is being followed, why he wouldn't stop for police. So we'll kind of have all that information at the end of the day when this is over, probably once Phoenix police get him off the street. And you know, they call the other agencies and let them know that people like this are coming their way to alert their officers. And once again, it's been good in the way that we have not seen one marked patrol car following this guy to scare him and make him do something stupid. We're thankful for that. I don't know how many unmarked cars are around, but it's that blue Audi we've been following for quite a while now, all the way from 51st Avenue, 43rd Avenue, Phoenix, at Thomas and McDowell, up and down through neighborhoods all around, and now he's out here on the west side on, I'm gonna have to get this street when I get a chance, but he's going south towards Phoenix International Raceways.
Granite Dam. Switching.
Fiber TV3, we're off at your
So I think we're coming
4
down to
o'clock
the
high,
Buckeye area.
2,215 off at about your 4
I think
o'clock
that
as
might
well.
be Buckeye Road we're coming upon.
Thanks.
Yeah, there's Buckeye Road, and I didn't see the cross street, but it's going through the Buckeye area right now. Where's Firebird at? You want to try to line them up a little bit? So sometimes when there's an area that appears to be a safe location to try to pit this guy, or pit a car, and meaning tap him on the back rear quarter panel, spin the car around, and the other cars all surround him, and they were able to take him into custody. Sometimes down here in these areas where there's a lot less people, they think about doing it. Now he's turning around, going the other direction, and that street is Dysart. So he's on Dysart.
Guys get desperate now, he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And now he's going to go through a neighborhood here.
Phoenix traffic, evac 33 is over Camelback Mountain inbound for Banner University, Phoenix.
Got you, Aaron. I'll hold here.
Got you there, thanks, Steve.
And he's driving through a neighborhood here near Dysart and, what was it, about 115th Avenue. There's really only a couple ways out of here. There's a Firebird police helicopter getting his eyes on him. Where? Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Firebird, you didn't see anyone get out of the car, did you?
Yeah, somebody did get out. I don't know if you saw. They had red and gray on. He's ran east or west from where the car stopped.
Copy that. And I guess somebody bailed out of the car, so a criminal on the streets now, running around, trying to hide from officers. They'll probably get their ground units in there, that last apartment complex we saw,
2 miles
and
east of Banner
get him in
University
custody.
inbound.
You saw those pedestrians walking across the street. That's the kind of stuff that is dangerous in this situation. So this blue Audi driver, we're not sure what he's wanted for. He's been running from authorities for the past hour. We caught up with him at about 35th Avenue in Thomas. Now he's out in the Avondale, Buckeye area. Where are we? Okay. So we're out in the Buckeye area, near Buckeye Road and Dysart. There's Dysart Road he just crossed. Is he heading eastbound? Alright, he's going eastbound across the Alafria River here. There's a Phoenix Police Firebird helicopter keeping an eye on him up above. Yeah, go ahead. Ten-4. So try to get, is Firebird just orbiting? Is that the problem? Yeah, is he flying in like circles and stuff? That's why we can't do it. Okay. Yeah. I got it mixed minus, guys. I got mixed minus.
Firebird TV 15-3, we're just off of your 6 o'clock, both of you guys 2,100.
Okay, copy, thanks, sir.
Check, check, check. Are you guys coming to me? Sub, you coming to me? Okay, you know I have mixed minus. I'm hearing a big echo from her. All right, just have her toss to me. Where's Firebird, to the right or left? Armed robbery? Yeah, you know what? Thankfully, this guy has not been driving. Hang on, I got to shut off my audio up here. I'm getting a mixed mind. Okay, check, check, check. I'm with you. I'm with you. All right, they fixed the audio. I'm ready. Hey, you there? Hey, I'm sorry. Yeah, we had little technical details up here, flying around 3 helicopters and chasing this guy. But anyway, this Audi we've been following for the past hour, and we just got information. I don't have it corroborated or confirmed that he's an armed robbery suspect driving this Audi. Just about 5 or 10 minutes ago, he went through a neighborhood right around Dysart and Buckeye area, and somebody got out of the vehicle. And fled. So there were at least 2 people in that car that we know of, because this driver continues on. And once again, the only good thing I can say about this this guy not stopping for authorities is he has not been driving very fast and radical. He has run a few lights, but he's done it in a so to speak safe way, which isn't dangerous to everybody in the intersection. So he's been driving for the most part, he's been driving the speed limit. He's been weaving in and out of vehicles. The Phoenix Police Firebird helicopter is up here with us. Where's the helicopter? I'm looking for him over here. And so he's up here, been following him. And so right now we're just waiting for either maybe some unmarked units to maybe pull this guy over, or we're not exactly sure. But anyway, that's what it looks like from the Penguin Air and Plummet News Chopper. We're going to continue to follow him. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Traffic isn't real heavy, which is good news. And we're just out on the west side of town. Once again, we started at about 35th Avenue in Thomas, and now we're out here, Phoenix International Raceway, right down there. And so that's where we are, just north of it. And so this driver, here he is, doing U-turns here all over the place. And once again, if he's wanted for an armed robbery, then he could be armed, and now things are a lot more dangerous for everybody on the streets. Well, just that, the fact that he comes up to a light, and let's say there's, a half a dozen cars sitting at the light. He doesn't like sitting at the light because he doesn't know if the police department is going to come up behind him and take him into custody. So he's always giving himself room. He always stops about 3 cars back. We've seen him actually back up in an intersection at one. We've seen him almost go up onto the sidewalk at another. If he can't go straight, he'll turn right or left. And the only thing we haven't seen him, and he's had a couple of opportunities, is he has not gotten on the Interstate 10 freeway. He's gone underneath it a couple of times. So the good thing also, I will say, Nicole, the Phoenix Police Department and all the agencies involved in this pursuit right now are following. It's not a pursuit, they're just following him. I have not seen one marked unit anywhere, and that's when it gets dangerous. When these suspects, these criminals see a marked vehicle, then they start driving a little bit crazier. They know they're going to go to jail, and that puts it in their head that, oh my gosh, they know where I'm at. They're in the area where I'm at. I got to get out of here. And thankfully, I have not seen one marked unit anywhere. I'm sure there's some unmarked units around, and hopefully when he gets into a situation where maybe they can box him in, take him into custody safely, that will happen. And right now, the police Firebird helicopter is up above him, and I'm trying to get my eyes on him, but he's up here keeping an eye on him, and that's the best we can do right now, is just stay back. The guy doesn't know we're up here, and let the Firebird police helicopter call out to their ground units where he's going. Well, my guess right now is the car is stolen, but we can't get close enough with our helicopter because we have to fly at a higher altitude to give the Phoenix Police Firebird helicopter plenty of room to maneuver underneath us. So, I wish I could see the plate, but we've been up at a much higher altitude. See, that's the kind of stuff that's, that's when it gets dangerous. Okay, flip off 1 and turn on 2, FM1. So 5 wants me? Okay, copy that. I'm ready. Yeah, hey, how's it going? We're up here. Well, we've been following this blue Audi that now we understand from our assignment desk that the Phoenix Police Department has told us is an armed robbery suspect driving that vehicle, or was in that vehicle, because about 10 minutes ago he went through a neighborhood and somebody bailed out of the car, and the Phoenix Police Firebird helicopter, they watched that person who bailed off. They bailed out of the car and they called their ground units in to go arrest that person. We don't know if they've been able to do that yet, but this blue Audi has been driving around. We caught up with him at 35th Avenue in Thomas, just all over the place, just like you saw there, doing U-turns, driving through neighborhoods, and just basically trying to evade the law enforcement because now we find out he's wanted for an armed robbery. We don't know if the car is stolen. We couldn't get low enough to get a shot at the license plate because we have to give the Phoenix Police Firebird plenty of room to maneuver to keep an eye on this guy. Well, we work as a really good team, and Aaron is flying right now. I'm shooting the camera, and you talked about that lens. So this is as close as we can get from the lens on the helicopter. We call him Elvis, and it's quite a good lens. And if I back out all the way, this is how wide it gets, so you can see. That's a pretty nice, technical piece of equipment we use up here, and now he's coming right underneath us. But this car, and we have been negotiating with all the air traffic control. We started in Scottsdale, went into Phoenix, went over to Glendale, went over to Goodyear, went over to Luke Air Force Base. We've talked to everybody Aaron has while he's flying and I'm shooting. I'm listening to everything, and we had it up for a little while, playing it on our Facebook Live. But, when you follow these pursuits, you don't know where you're going to end up. And I will tell you, all the air traffic controllers in here in town, we let them know what we're doing, and then they sort of, we'll call a flight of 2, like it was us and the Firebird helicopter, and if we call a flight of 2, then it'll let the Firebird helicopter at that point continue doing what they were doing, and they didn't have to, talk with the tower. We told the tower, hey, it's a flight of 2, it's a Firebird helicopter, and the Penguin Air and Plummet news chopper, and when you do that, they just, clear you into their airspace. But, what happens is this guy will do a U-turn. Oh, they just tried to stop stick him there. Just tried to stop stick him. All right. So anyway, that's it. But, he's in and out of all these airspaces. So for us up here, he's driving through neighborhoods. We're driving through airspaces. No, and that's thankfully, every time we're in the helicopter over these pursuits, you just keep your fingers crossed that, like this is happening, that he doesn't see any officers, any marked units that are going to encourage him to drive like an idiot and drive really fast, run through red lights, and we've seen bad accidents that way. We've seen people get killed that way. Thankfully, this guy has been driving the speed limit for the most of the time, but he has been, weaving in and out of traffic. He's been running red lights slowly, weaving in and out of the traffic that's going against him. So I will say that's the only good thing about this, is he has not driven like a total, raging idiot. We're just north of the Phoenix International Raceway down here in the Avondale area, Buckeye area. 107th Avenue and Buckeye. Top part of our screen is Interstate 10 up there, this industrial area, and some neighborhoods. There's the FedEx facility, and Here we go. We've got him heading northbound. Could you tell her to hold off for a minute? Anyway, so he's heading northbound on the 107th Avenue towards the Interstate 10, and it's up there about a half a mile away. But he has been reticent to jump on to Interstate 10. He's had plenty of opportunities, but he has not done it. That's not him. Where'd he go? All right, let's see. Somebody, looks like he may have gotten out of the car. That's a woman. I don't know. I didn't see if she got out of the car. Yeah, so it's sitting there. Oh, they carjacked somebody. Okay. A pickup truck. He carjacked a pickup truck. That's what happened. What color was that pickup truck? Let's see here. All right, here we go. And Firebird, which truck is he in now? Heading up. Okay, there we go. A Tundra. Yeah, sorry folks, that's what happened. I pulled out and we lost him, sir. I think this is the guy. Is that Tundra? Ask him it's a Tundra. And seeing that's the truck. Kill my comm one, would you? Copy. 10-4. Shut off FM2 and give me FM1. You know what? We had pulled out to show a reference of where this guy was, and it happened right when we pulled out. You guys will be able to zoom into it over there at the station. But we saw a woman running from the intersection, her hands on her head, just obviously distraught, and it appears that the suspect has stolen her truck here, this Tundra, and now he's eastbound down Interstate 10, and so basically in the middle of the freeway. And what street are we approaching here, buddy? 83rd Avenue. So he's on I-10. So now it's a Department of Public Safety situation, and we did see him run through a light to get away. And once again, now he's gone from driving reasonable in the car he was in earlier, the blue Audi, but now he has carjacked somebody. And basically stolen their pickup truck here. Right, Interstate 10, we're on Interstate 10 westbound. Yes, we have, and once again, we were not sure. We may have moved off of the pickup. This was the one I thought I saw going through the intersection, the red light. Okay. There he is. Okay, now he's driving pretty quick down I-10 in and out of traffic, folks, and he's coming up to the area where they've got the 303 or the 202 they're putting in, that construction, as he heads eastbound into the Phoenix area. And it's 3:15 right now, so thankfully it's not 5 o'clock traffic. But this is the guy. He has carjacked this vehicle from a woman at 107th Avenue near I-10, and she ran from the intersection with her hands in her head, just totally freaked out and didn't know what was happening. But I'm sure he brandished. I'm assuming he brandished a weapon and stole her truck. This is westbound Interstate 10 approaching 67th Avenue. So anyway, and once again, when he was driving the blue Audi he had before he carjacked this white pickup truck, he was driving reasonable, and he was, the only thing he was doing was kind of, when he was sitting at a red light too long, he would try to, when he got a break, he'd cross almost like a stop sign, and we'd only seen like 2 near misses, but they weren't at high speed, so that was the good news. But now that he's carjacked another vehicle, it lets us know, his intent is he does not want to be arrested. Towards it, yeah, he's heading on the 10. Now he's going through where that 202 construction is, which is about 51st Avenue, and so he's heading into Phoenix. And when they get on the freeway, they can go pretty much anywhere, right? Right, and those stop sticks from the way I understand that they work, they're basically, tubes, so they run over them, they're sharp, they go into the tire, and then they let the tire deflate through a hole in the middle of that tube, and so it slowly deflates. They don't want to blow the tire up, because then, if they were traveling at a higher rate of speed, the car would crash, be more, the propensity of it crashing would be greater than if they just deflated slowly. So we're not sure, maybe he was running on a flat tire there, but we didn't notice anything like that. Where's Firebird? Can you put him in line with this? Okay, we're going to go give you a shot of the Firebird helicopter and show you guys where they are in relationship to this. And as he heads into Phoenix, he's approaching 43rd Avenue on the Interstate 10 in traffic, thankfully not heavy traffic. And the traffic here, he's not going to hit any until he gets to there he is right there to the and now he's he's getting off 35th Avenue. So he's getting off at 30. This is where we started today, 35th Avenue. He must live around here. I wouldn't doubt he. Exactly. So here he is, 35th Avenue, getting off at the I-10, going down the curb lane in the dirt, and he's probably going to turn south. And here he goes. So this truck was carjacked at 107th Avenue. A woman totally freaked out. This guy carjacked her, stole her truck. She goes running off out of the intersection, her hands up on her head. You can tell she's just distraught. She didn't know what just happened, and thankfully he didn't hurt her. Look at this, kids walking home from school, hanging out along the road. They had no idea what this guy in this truck is capable of at this point. So the Phoenix Police, go ahead. No, and right now he's behaving. Thankfully, can you imagine him jumping up on the curb there? Right. Look at all those kids. There's a Firebird helicopter. Okay, FM1 off. Leave it on though, they're still talking to me on 3. Ready to go. Switch off 3 for me, buddy. Yeah, we're at 35th Avenue area, south of I-10, and the Phoenix Police Firebird helicopter up in the air over this guy and doing a lot of circles, maneuvering, just like we are, trying to keep him in sight because he's turning left, turning right, and he hasn't done a U-turn recently, but this guy just driving all over the place aimlessly. He carjacked this pickup truck at 107th Avenue and the I-10, and it was just so frightening to watch a woman run from the intersection, her hands in the air. You could tell she's just totally distraught. Oh, look at this. He's stopping here. Yeah, you don't know why he stopped at that particular home right there. And what is he doing here? What is he doing here? He just stopped in the street. I don't know what he's doing. Doing a U-turn. He may know somebody at that area where he just was, where he stopped. I don't know. By that red car, this is where he stopped before. Maybe not. Don't know if he knows somebody down there, but he's been on 35th Avenue, this area. Look at that. Kids walking home from school. Try to. Yes, it does, and I hate to say that. I don't want to be sensational or anything, but compared to him driving the Audi, he was pretty hard to find because he was driving with traffic, and basically could he was driving almost normal, except when he would come to a light and the light was red. And right now he's right at a little higher rate of speed too, with a pickup truck. So, and there's kids all over the place coming home from school out here, and this looks like a neighborhood where there's a lot of younger kids. And look at this, lots of traffic here. The grocery store and everything, and once again, thankfully, we have not seen one marked unit in this area anywhere during this pursuit, and that's so great because that would encourage him to be, drive even more unsafe. And the only thing we've seen that he knows people are trying to get him is when they tried to stop stick him back about 20 minutes ago when he slowed down for a light, and they were unsuccessful at that. But Anyway, he's driving up the middle lane here. What road is he on right now? He's on Van Buren and I-17. So coming up on I-17 and Van Buren. And once again, we have been at 35th Avenue is where we started, 35th and Thomas when he had that blue Audi. We've gone all the way out to the Phoenix International Raceway out in Avondale. And look at this guy. Look at this guy. Yeah, now all bets are off now. If the officers are seeing this from the, and if officers on the ground now know that things are getting unsafe, they're going to have to up the game here and try to take him off the roadway, I think, if they can. It's on the frontage road, I-17 northbound, and this will take you up to in an area you can't get on I-17 here. So that's the stack over there. So he's going to end up just on this frontage road that goes around that drops you off probably by 19th Avenue. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's 19th Avenue or no, he may be getting on the freeway or at least heading up to McDowell underneath the stack right now. And here he goes. Right. Yeah, we're doing a live talk right now on TV. So anyway, he's heading on. That would be McDowell here, and trying to look just past I-17, coming up on the State Fairgrounds right underneath us. And so once again, he carjacked this vehicle out in Avondale. And that was a scary sight to see when that woman went running from that intersection. You can imagine you're minding your own business, sitting there in your vehicle just coming home from work, and somebody comes up, opens your door, and you've got a gun pointed in your face if indeed he used his weapon. We are told this is an armed robbery suspect, and she was visibly shaken. That's Grand Avenue. Here's the Madhouse on McDowell, the Coliseum, the Fairgrounds. Northbound on 19th Avenue now, right at the Fairgrounds. And the one thing you never know, you never know with these vehicles how much gas is in them. So that could cause a problem. If it's low on gas, then he's thinking, I got to carjack another vehicle. And we're hoping that doesn't happen, but there's just all the things. Right. I mean, how much? Okay, hey guys, I'm going to switch over to 3 and do a live shot, okay? Okay, I'm with you on 3. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Okay, copy that. Where's Firebird, buddy? If you ever get the opportunity to put them in between us, do that. What's he approaching, Thomas? He just went over Thomas? Yeah, you know, you saw him carjack this white pickup truck from a woman, an unsuspecting woman, sitting at a light down around 107th Avenue, south of the I-10, and obviously she jumped out of the vehicle and ran across into the side of the road, just visibly shaken. We're not sure if he brandished a weapon and told her to get out, or he just opened the door and yanked her out. We were up. I was trying to see some other scene area where he was headed and I missed that particular shot. But so he stole this truck from her after leaving that Audi in the intersection there, and now he's been driving a little bit quicker, faster on Interstate 10. He was going pretty quick, and now he got off at 35th Avenue, and anytime he gets in traffic like that at lights, he usually goes through parking lots. And just like that, and people, people see that, and you almost think that somebody would get mad and there would be a road rage situation where they would chase him down, not knowing that this guy's armed. He's just robbed, whatever. They called it an armed robbery. We're not sure where or what, but, you've got this guy driving like an idiot, and he carjacked a woman, so you don't want to get near this guy. And the best we can do in the helicopter is keep giving people locations so they can keep everybody safe, keep everybody inside, don't go out on the streets, and hopefully the law enforcement units will be able to somehow subdue this guy safely. They don't want to try anything that's going to cause him to start driving fast and trying to get away. So they're really being very, patient. And he's not driving radically. I will say I've been over these chases for years. I've seen him going 100 miles an hour down surface streets. This guy has been driving reasonable, and that's the only thing I'll say about it. But look at that. Look at that. Lady pushing a child across the road. And no, this is 19th Avenue, Camelback. He just went through Camelback. There's the light rail. There's Camelback, and we're on 19th Avenue. So, coming not far from the TV station. Right. I just pray that up here while we're flying and watching this, we've got the front row seat with you folks at home, that the officers will be able to do something to get them off the streets safely. And they've done this for years. They train for this, and they the last thing they want to do is do anything that's going to cause anything unsafe to the civilians out there, the public in general. So they're trying to figure out, like I said, I haven't seen one marked car anywhere in an hour of following this guy, and that's one thing that's awesome, because he sees a marked car, he's going to start going faster, he's going to start driving radical, he's going to be a little bit crazier, and I haven't seen one. So they're doing, oh, look at this, look at all those kids. Oh my God. Yeah, it's 3:30 right now. School's letting out in some of these neighborhoods. Right. There you go. Coming up on Christown Mall. Yeah, and you never know who's following him in an unmarked vehicle. The law enforcement in this city, they have, I've seen him driving minivans, I've seen him driving Corvettes, I've seen him driving all kinds of vehicles, and they're pretty well, surreptitious as far as this guy wouldn't know they were a police officer in that vehicle following him. But it's hard to follow this guy if he's making U-turns and turning left and right, because as soon as he makes some kind of erratic moves and sees somebody making the same move, then he's got him pinned for being a law enforcement officer usually. You know what? With this situation where reportedly, and when I don't have this confirmed up here, look at this. Look at all those kids going across there. If he's armed and he goes out on foot armed, then he's a threat, a bigger threat, I guess, than he would be right now in a vehicle. So pick your poison on that one. I don't know how to answer that question. But, hopefully the officers will be able to subdue this guy before he can do any harm to any people out there on the streets. But once again, this has been going on for over an hour. We've burned a half a tank up in the Penguin Air and Plumbing News Chopper following this guy. The Phoenix Police Firebird helicopter, when we caught up with them initially, they were down and they had to go back and get fuel, so they were replaced by the backup, or not the backup, but the other helicopter, the other Firebird helicopter. And here he is right here next to us. We're above him like 300 feet. We're talking with him. We're calling out our position. Firebird helicopter, keeping it safe. And so now that guy turned northbound. You see the Firebird helicopter. He's got to maneuver too. And you see he's on the right side of the vehicle. So Firebird over there on the right. He's on the right side hoping that guy can't see him up in the air. Now, if we're out to his left side, he has a better chance of sticking his head out the window and looking up and seeing us. So we try to stay behind them, high, and to the right, so they can't see us. That's exactly what it looks like here. So going through the neighborhood right now, and copy that 5, going to 5. We're on 5. Okay, let's get straighter over the road. We got a bunch of trees here, buddy. Yeah, it's hard to look out the window of the helicopter. My head's buried in the camera right now, but I think it's 15. Is that 15th Avenue, Aaron? Yeah, 15th coming up on Dunlap here, and he just ran a light to get across Dunlap. That was Northern, actually, approaching Dunlap, and in a neighborhood now. You guys, and boy, it's been very. Right. It's been very trying up here because he was down at 35th Avenue south of the I-10, and there were hundreds of kids all walking down the street all over the place because school had just let out. And then as he came up 19th Avenue by Christown Mall, there were a bunch of kids there as well. We saw him drive fairly close to a woman pushing a stroller across the street. So we've seen it all from this guy, and we are told he is armed. We are told at least he's wanted for armed robbery if this is the suspect, unless the person that got out of the Audi back over by the Phoenix International Raceway area was the suspect. We don't know. There were 2 people in the vehicle. One bailed out of the car, and the Phoenix Police Firebird radioed down to the ground crews where that suspect was in that neighborhood, so I'm sure they've apprehended him. And this guy continued on and has come all the way from the Phoenix International Raceway area out there in Avondale and Buckeye, and now in Phoenix, coming up 15th Avenue, approaching Dunlap. Okay, yeah, that's because we just went over. Oh, look at that! What was that about? I don't know if that was just somebody that knew he was coming, came out watching us on TV, and then they come out and they they know the vehicle's going to be right there. So thankfully, people are staying inside, and hopefully we're providing a service that can help them stay safe. There's a look of him. Yeah, and I can't tell if he's on his cell phone or not. He's got his hand up to his ear, it looks like. But going through a neighborhood up here, north of Northern. Okay, 19th just south of Dunlap is where he's at right now. So as he heads across the canal there, you know where that is, folks, on the Dunlap there. And Aaron, who's flying me this today while I shoot the camera, tells me there's some units pretty far behind him, some marked units. And what is it, 338 right now? The traffic not too bad, but he's coming up 19th Avenue, which is a pretty crowded street. Sometimes it's not at this point, but here he goes into the neighborhood. I'm not sure which road that is going through the neighborhood. We'll try to grab a sign if we can. We're not sure if this is Hatcher. Like, it's hard for me to look outside the helicopter without keeping my eye on the camera. Okay, he's on Mountain View. Mountain View, yeah. So north of Dunlap on Mountain View, up into this neighborhood. It goes up into the foothills a little bit. Some of these homes to the right it would be. But once again, through neighborhoods, we don't like seeing this because of all the people that are on foot. There's somebody on a bicycle. Right, now he's stopping, don't know why. Backing up. Got the police helicopter up above him. I don't know what he's doing here. Don't know why. Maybe he knows the streets. He didn't want to get stuck somewhere. Oh, look at that kid on a bicycle or something there. Aaron, he what? Oh, okay. Oh, I guess they had spike strips out, and that's why he stopped and backed up. So he saw the spike strips down there. That's what the Firebird guys had mentioned on the radio, and so that's why he backed up away. And, you know, the thing about it is now he obviously knows that they know where he's at. He's probably seen the helicopter at this point, and this is when things can get a little tense. And we're coming back to 19th Avenue here north of Dunlap. Look at this. Watch this. Don't know what the conversation is there. He probably knows what's going on or something. Here comes a van. I bet you that van is a police officer. I'll bet you right now. That brown van, bottom part of our screen. Look at this guy. What do you think when you see this? Look at the people coming out of their homes. Look at this. No, no, no. He is. And we don't know what the conversation was with that other vehicle, but he backed up. And I'm not sure if that vehicle said, you know, there's officers down there or what, because he backed up away from it. Here he goes on foot. Yeah. Okay, I can't tell you the street yet. 19th Avenue near Sherrill. So here comes the tank and all the officers, and we didn't see him come squirting out anywhere. They might have him. They've got him. Or they're getting people out. Okay, let's go north. Let's go north. Let's go north. They're bringing the dog in. And not sure if he is under there. Go left, we'll go left, go left, 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 left. North, 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 north. Not sure if they've got him under there or they've got him cornered. There, they got somebody on the ground there. There they got him. They got him on the ground now. Okay, that's good right there, but hold it. There's somebody in jeans on the ground. Yeah, they were poised. They were definitely in the area, and we didn't know. I mean, that just shows what a great job they do. Here they go. They got the suspect in custody, walking him away. And sorry, our shot's a little fuzzy. We're pretty high up with this camera, trying to zoom in all the way. And here, yeah, they're checking it right now. There it is right there. And they're taking the suspect away. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like he knew that apartment complex. I'm not sure, but he looked like he knew where he was going a little bit. But you never know. Wow. All right, so there it is. That woman can get her truck back that he hijacked down there in the Buckeye-Avondale area on south of I-10 at 107th Avenue. Thankfully, this ended up nobody getting hurt that we know of. And yeah, the Phoenix Police Department just came right in and took care of business. That was great to see. That tank was here immediately. I mean, here's their assault vehicle. That just pulled right in immediately when he jumped out of his vehicle. So, good job. Yeah, that was good that we got that. That must have been the guys that bailed out of the Audi, right? Out in the Avondale area? Okay. shy of an hour ago. Just shy of an hour ago. That's just amazing that this guy drove like an idiot for that long and didn't hurt anybody. And we are so thankful up here that he finally bailed out. Ran into this building, this apartment building, and we're not sure if he knew somebody here. It looked like he almost knew where he was going, because he stopped right in front and came running across the sidewalk into this area here. And then immediately, within, as you said, moments, they pulled in with their assault vehicle, and we saw half a dozen officers get out, run, and take him into custody. We saw the dog, the canine, come in immediately as well. So that was just great to see. Everything being taken care of, professionally by the law enforcement agencies involved in this. And I think it was the lead on it might have been Phoenix Police, because that's where this whole thing started. Right, right. Okay. Metro Center. So to the west, to the east of Metro Center, along Mountain View by Hatcher is where this all went down. And now I'm going to have to try to find it again, folks. Right, right, yeah, and that was, once again, thank God she's safe. She ran from that intersection just probably screaming, frightened. I don't know if he brandished a weapon, but we're giving you a shot. The Pastoa Peak over there, off to our east, the canal that comes across by Hatcher, up by John C. Lincoln Hospital. That's where we are. This is the neighborhood. This is the truck that he bailed out of up here just to the north side of Mountain View Road, north of, right near Hatcher. And so about, 15th Avenue-ish is about where he bailed out in this neighborhood. But getting back to that woman, thank goodness she's going to have a story to tell. She's safe. That's great. And just seeing her run across that field, just totally distraught after, being yanked out of her truck at, by force or however he did it. I didn't have a close-up shot at that point, but, when we saw her running like that, it was just, very scary, and thank God she's, safe. Right. You bet. You bet. Thank you. Okay, did you edit something together for us? Okay, copy. Sounds good. I'll just go with the flow, whatever I see. Good job, buddy. That's a lot of flying. Thank God nobody got hurt, man. That's a good story right there. Yeah. I know. I'm going to drive away with him hanging through the window. Oh, that's true. Go, hey, you can't drive this. And then they put the gun on you. Go, then you drive me. Ugh. Crazy. Right at the top of the 4, copy that, and you'll have video for me, correct? And you'll have video for us, right? You will have video for us cut, right? Okay, thank you. No. Ten four. All right, where's this scene at? Yeah. Are you going to put it behind a tree? You're going to put the truck behind a tree. What station are we on? 3? Yeah, well, no, actually, right now we're up over. Let's set up this camera. We're up over with the scene where it ended up in Phoenix, North Phoenix. This is like Hatcher, near Hatcher on Mountain View, and about just to the near 19th Avenue. 19th Avenue, and this is the truck that he hijacked. That woman out there at 107th Avenue, south of the Interstate 10, and man, that was quite a sight seeing her run from that truck. I mean, thank goodness she wasn't hurt. We've got probably another half hour. Copy. All right, folks, so the end of this, following this guy who carjacked a woman. He had originally been driving a stolen Audi, and it was used in an armed robbery. He ended up carjacking a woman in a pickup truck out at 107th Avenue and near I-10. Here's the pickup truck. He bailed out of it here up near Hatcher and 19th Avenue in North Phoenix, and the Phoenix police, and I'm not sure who else was involved in taking him into custody. They took him into custody in this apartment complex. So that's what it looks like from the Penguin Air and Plummet News Shopper. We thank you for sticking with us all afternoon, and probably the past 2 hours we've been following this situation where this guy was refusing to stop for law enforcement. So that's what it looks like for the Penguin Air and Plummet News Shopper in the neighborhood. We've got the crime tape up now with a pickup truck in the middle of the street and the suspect in a squad car going to jail.
Well, after more than 2 hours of driving, that suspect finally ditched that stolen white truck out in front of this apartment complex and ran inside. This is where his parents live, but police weren't far behind. A Cross Valley car chase.
Here he goes on foot.
The man behind the wheel, wanted for armed robbery and a slew of new violations, ended his alleged crime spree not with a fiery crash, but by running to his parents' house.
They might have him. They've got him.
Police say the suspect's parents had no idea their son was involved in a chase until he abandoned the stolen white truck in the middle of their street and showed up with police in tow. Neighbors were equally shocked.
So I'm watching it on the news, and then I see the street, and I'm like, okay. So I came outside, I'm like, oh my God, and he just flew right past me.
Despite some very close calls, there were no injuries to officers or bystanders.
I was about to leave with my kids and stuff, and I could have been outside with my kids when anything happened.
Police say that's partly because officers intentionally stayed back and used unmarked cars and a police helicopter to track his movements until it was time to move in.
And I think when you see it on a nationwide level, vehicle pursuits by law enforcement are pretty dangerous, not only for the officers, but for the safety of the community. So we just take, a back approach, for lack of a better term, for the safety of everybody that's involved.
We caught a glimpse of the driver as he was taken away in a police SUV. Now, police have not yet released the driver's name tonight, but they tell us he's a 20-something Hispanic male.